One of my biggest learns from last year is just to not say yes to so many things and not take on so many things. And it's just one of those that's like an unteachable lesson that you have to do it to learn that that's not the right thing to do. And even going into this year, I was still dragging that mentality here with me, which is why I signed up to Seville. Last year I had 2 goals and I missed both of them in the marathon. And obviously you can't really do more than 2 marathons a year. Yeah. Just bit off more than I could chew. So this year I'm going to take it a little bit more chilled and focus on 1 marathon. So yeah, I'm going to get started. We got a 2K warm up and then it's just 12 times 400 meters, so it's actually not that bad. But the pace is horrendous, so a bit spicy. So we'll see if we can warm up in this absolutely freezing cold weather. I should really keep the hat on, but leaning into discomfort. But that's the only thing I'm willing to take off.
What did he say?
And I'll see you after the warm-up. I think I haven't actually updated YouTube since Chicago Marathon, to be fair. So I think it makes a bit of sense to let you know like, what I'm training for and how it's been going. The plan after Chicago's debacle or failure, I would say, was to take some time off marathon training, but kind of got convinced to not take so much time off marathon training, and I decided to sign up to Seville Marathon, which is going to be Feb 15th. It's currently beginning of Jan. Happy New Year, by the way. And yeah, the goal was to then reattempt it in Seville. The problem now is because it was such a short block and I haven't actually managed to do most of the session because I got ill over Christmas and ill over December leading up to Christmas. I haven't actually done many of the sessions that I was meant to do, and that means that I don't know how confident I'm feeling going into Seville, and I'm torn between, like what's going on in my mind right now is torn between still continuing to train for it, which is what I'm doing right now, and just accepting that Seville might be a bit too soon and my body's not ready to tackle that kind of distance. I think I'll make my mind up fully this weekend because I have my biggest, longest, hardest run this weekend. And if that doesn't go to plan, then all it is telling me is to just take it a bit easy and not do it. But I'm still training now as if I am going to go for a PB in Seville. So just gonna warm up, get some drills in, and then let you know what I'll do if Seville isn't on the cards. Just remember, if I'm listening to music, it means carrying my phone, which I didn't want to do, but all good. Alright. Just like the t-shirt says, we are on a mission. I think the first 400, I'm just gonna feel it out, see how I feel, and then decide how the rest of them are gonna go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. That was really hard. I feel lactic already though, it's crazy.
Really?
I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Not even November, I haven't been on track since my last track session for Chicago, which is insane. So I took 3 weeks off, like I said, over Christmas from being ill. I had that flu that seemed to be going around. And my body's just saying, you're just, like mentally, you want to go into a race feeling as strong and confident as possible. I'm just not there. I'll catch up in the next round. But yeah, so I was speaking with my sports psychologist yesterday and I told him the idea and the resolution I had of trying to lean into uncomfortable things. And he was like, so with Seville, what are you doing? Because I was like, in my head, pulling out would have been the easy thing to do, and continuing training despite having only 4 weeks is the uncomfortable thing to do. But I think we went through a bit of processing and he basically kind of made a very valid point, and he was like, maybe pulling out is the more uncomfortable thing to do. Maybe you're so secure in your ability to do things that you can't sit with the discomfort of letting someone else race, missing a race. Which one is actually more uncomfortable to you? Because you were so quick to have, when we had that conversation, to make up your mind that you still want to continue pursuing Seville and put yourself through physical discomfort. But he was like, maybe lean into the discomfort of not achieving your goals as soon as you set them out and as soon as you get them, and maybe that's the discomfort that you need to learn to sit with. And I think he makes a very, very valid point, which is why I was still tossing and turning between doing it and not doing it. But I think, again, with today's session feeling as hard as it is feeling, I sound like a broken record now, but maybe the discomfort is pulling out of the race. But again, I'll let you guys know how I feel on the other side of this session and like where my head's at, because I want to show you the reality of training for a marathon and setting yourself goals and knowing that you might not be able to achieve them and what that looks like. But rest is almost done. I'm gonna go into another set. You know that in GTA when the screen goes grey and it just says failed and it goes. I feel right now. Yeah, wasted. But yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think the discomfort of pulling out of a race is actually the more uncomfortable thing for me to do, because I've always been a doer and I've always been just grind. And I think this year maybe slowing down is that discomfort I need to lean into. Let's see. Enough rep. I'll keep going. But I think if I don't go ahead of Seville, thankfully, and I'm so grateful by the grace of God for the life that I live, but I had the opportunity to either run Boston, which will be my 6th, 7th star, and try and go for a PB there, despite it being a bit of a hilly course, but it still gives me a bit more time to train for it, and I can train during Ramadan, which is not ideal, but gives me more to talk about, because I was planning on taking Ramadan off.
Is there anything about the pace that feels like super difficult, or is it more just the accumulative effort on the body?
I think it's a bit of both. I've never been good at top end speed stuff anyways, and that is something I potentially want to train more of, and maybe that's something I take into the next block. I've always been good at holding a steadier pace for just a really long period of time, but the top end speed stuff has always been a bit hit and miss. But like the lactic that builds up immediately, the fatigue in my legs, my chest still feels like it's holding on to some of that sickness and that mucus from before, so my breathing's not as clear. So I think it's a combination of all of that, but it's everything that does to my mental that is really pissing me off, basically. Pardon my French. It's good to have someone else to bounce your ideas off though, because like if it's just me, my head goes into David Goggins all the time. It's just like, stay hard! And yes, like I say, that is one form of being motivational and stuff, but I really, guys, really want to provide you like the most authentic and valuable information, and sometimes that value is in rest. Speaking of rest, mine's done. Let's go back into the last and best rep. That's that daily discipline. I say that's the session done. As good as I had it on the day. Remember, on the days you only have 40%, and you give 40%, you've given 100. And that felt like my 100. Nowhere near the target paces, didn't even finish all the reps. My mind is here, there and everywhere, but my body was present. I showed up to the best of my ability, and all that's left is a cool down and a bit of grace. One of my biggest learns from last year is just to not say yes to so many things and not take on so many things, and it's just one of those that's like an unteachable lesson that you have to do it to learn that that's not the right thing to do. And even going into this year, I was still dragging that mentality here with me, which is why I signed up to Seville. And again, like I was saying earlier, I think the discomfort that I was trying to avoid, the real discomfort, was resting, not going hard again. And last year, like I'd done, trained all the way up until London, and then from London, didn't really rest. I went straight into Sydney, then Berlin, then Chicago, and it was just like back to back marathons, and no one person should be taking on, despite only wanting to race 2 of them, the fact that I was still covering that distance, my body just didn't get a chance to recover. And then off the back of Chicago, I took maybe a couple of weeks off, and then I started the 10K a day challenge, and then I got ill, but still trying to train and get the volume in despite being ill for Seville. And again, it's just one of those unteachable lessons where I think I'm learning it in this moment as I'm speaking to you, that I just need to reel it back and give myself more time, give my body more time to recover and pick a race that's actually intentionally the one I want to go for, rather than one that was just like dropped on a silver platter to me. And it's one of the hardest things about being like self-employed and a content creator is you always seek these opportunities and you always try to, you feel like the only thing that makes it through the hustle and bustle is these massive crazy challenges and just doing another marathon and doing another major. And it's sometimes you just need to take a step back and realize that I want to be here for a very, very long time, and I want to give sustainable, realistic advice. I don't just want to be the guy that just does marathon after marathon after marathon and PB after PB. It's not realistic for me, and it's not realistic for most people, so I'm just realizing why I'm actually doing it. But with that being said, I have, like I said, the two options after Seville of doing London Marathon or Boston Marathon. So let me know actually below, what, if you had the option to do either, which one would you choose and why? And then secondly, we just have, if you are doing London Marathon this year, we have so much going on with Cadence, which I haven't really spoken about on this channel a lot recently, but yeah, I am still working for Cadence. And if you are in and around London Marathon, let's get out of the way of these people. If you are in and around London Marathon and you want to experience some stuff or you want to come say hi, I will be putting out more details on like exactly what Cadence are doing over the next few videos, so make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. We'll be doing some massive giveaways as well, and we are so close to 15K. In fact, that I'm going to do a giveaway in this video. If you subscribe and comment and like this video, then I will do a giveaway of ASICS and Cadence. Get a pair of ASICS shoes and some Cadence kit. Not kit, and some Cadence electrolytes. All you need to do to enter the giveaway is like, comment which race you think I should do between London and Boston, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be picking a winner as soon as we reach 15K subscribers. So stay tuned for that.